Well, Malala Yousafzai has launched an online petition today calling on world leaders to fund a new plan that will ensure every boy and girl is in school by December 2015. The Pakistani schoolgirl will present the petition to the United Nations in New York on her birthday, July 12th. She'll be accompanied by UN Special Envoy for Global Education, Gordon Brown, for what will be her first speech since she was shot by Taliban gunmen in October. The former British Prime Minister says the Education for All mission can be achieved, and he explained the plan to Zain Verji.
Yeah, we've got 10 million girls a year who are being married off as children. So we've got to eliminate child brides and child marriage. We've got 15 million children a year who are working when they should be at school. So child labour, domestic labour, manufacturing, factory labour, it's got to be dealt with, and we've got to really be serious about countries abolishing child labour. We've got to deal with discrimination against girls, so we've got to have a worldwide campaign to ensure that girls have an equal right to go to school as boys. But then we've got to hire 2 million extra teachers, we've got to build 4 million extra classrooms, and if we were to do that, we would then become the first generation in history where we could genuinely say that every child was at school. It is possible for us to do this. It is not so expensive it cannot be done, but it's an essential element of the human rights of every child.
Where are the most effective pressure points? Is it government and policy? Is it at the grassroots level? Is it cultural? Fathers, that are sometimes the obstacles to education. Where do you think, in your new role, can be the most effective in having more girls in schools?
I think the most significant change is the pressure that's coming from girls and boys themselves. And it's been amazing to see the response when Malala Yousafzai was shot at, and how 3 million people, and 2 million of them in Pakistan, signed petitions calling for a change in education policy. And the pressure point on world leaders is going to be that large numbers of people, I hope, will support the various campaigns that we're running on child labour, on child trafficking, on discrimination against girls, on child marriage, but also they will support the general case that governments have got to invest, rich governments and poor governments have got to invest in education. Otherwise, we cannot build a successful economic future.
What motivates you about being involved in something like this? And give us a sense on a personal level how it's impacted you since being Prime Minister, and what struck you?
That we've underestimated the importance of education, and I think all of us from our own personal experience knows that what really changes the potential that we have is the ability to get a good education. And you cannot continue with a situation without there being huge ramifications over decades where 60 million children are not going to school. How can we deny a child who has done nothing to deserve this the chance of making the most of their talents? So I think that this is a movement of opinion whose time has come, and I see girls and boys themselves as pushing this case in a way that has never happened before.